Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Anuj Pachhel, an MBBS intern posted at GMC Nagpur. Finally, last week my trauma ended. Not the mental trauma, that's still going to continue for 1 year. But the posting of trauma care center, it ended and I learned a lot of things from that posting. Now I'm currently posted in the SARI unit. What is the SARI if you ask me? It's severe acute respiratory illness. So something like COVID and pneumonia and something related to that. We just have 2 patients over there and the COVID ward is completely empty. So when I was posted in trauma, my duty hours used to be 6-6-12. That means सुबह के 6 घंटे, शाम के 6 घंटे और रात के 12 घंटे. I'll tell you what happened when I first went in a SARI ward. The first problem arrived when I could not find the ward where it was. So I looked around and finally found it and went inside. There were 0 patients on the first day. So I called up my JR1 and asked him ki where should I come. So he called me to something called as infectious disease ward, which is located way outside from our hospital. I made my way to the infectious disease ward and guess what? There were 2 patients in the infectious disease ward. Yeah, just 1 introcath and I was out within 50 minutes. So I reached there at 12. I was out in 12:50. That was the posting for the entire day. And the next day, same thing happened. It's currently 9:42 on a Saturday and I have to go to the posting at roughly 10:30 or so. So that's kind of been the update which I wanted to give you all. If you're watching me for the first time and you like this video, I urge you to click the subscribe button. So what is the plan for today? To give a grand test. So a grand test is like a mock test for NEET PG. It's of around 200 questions. So I'll be giving it on my laptop, simulating the real life exam experiences, and I'll be sharing my entire experience with you. I've already given a few grand tests before, so this is just me documenting giving another one. Before we go ahead, I have sort of a confession to make, is that I really haven't been studying that much for the last 1 month. Posting has been extremely heavy. That has not given me enough time to study. Moreover, whenever I came back home from the internship, it really felt like just kuch mat karo, abhi tum aaram karo, because immediately tomorrow you'll have your next duty. That has really affected my studies. The only thing that I have been doing actively is solving question banks. But as such hardcore वाली जो study होती है जिसमें तुम किताब खोल के बैठ रहे हो 6 घंटे, that unfortunately has not happened with me yet. This point in my life, I'm so glad I did that podcast with Dr. Abhiram sir, who is pursuing his MD medicine as a JR1 from Government Medical College. And he said the exact same thing to me, that in the first 2.5 months his studies took quite a hit. So I think that's going to be the case for me as well. So yes, internship heavy posting के साथ पढ़ाई करना मेरे लिए बहुत difficult हो रहा है. But that's not going to stop me from giving a grand test or solving question banks or solving custom modules, because I'm doing this for my own sake, for learning rather than testing at this phase. The testing phase will come after I think August, September, when at least I would have done one single read completely. So even though I might get a lot of questions incorrect or I might not understand the concepts right now, while doing the GT review, I will be understanding them. I think yes, that was all from my side, and now let's get to the posting. After having my breakfast, I quickly made my way to the campus. It's around 10:30, let's get going. Let's go. Can you believe it's been like 3 years since COVID started? Still can't wrap my head around it. I've reached the campus and we are first going to the infectious disease. उधर 5 पेशेंट है, उधर से सैंपल लेके हम लोग जाएंगे सारी वार्ड, वहाँ पे 2 पेशेंट्स हैं. Masks are very compulsory in SARI. You can get the respiratory illness yourself and be admitted in the ward. This ward is also the place where I first got my vaccination done for Covishield back in March, I think of 2021. So this is the place. This is the infectious disease ward. Here we have got patients for hepatitis, gastroenteritis, rabies, cholera, and all of these diseases which are transmissible. As soon as I reached the ward, my JR1 sir, he gave me a list of samples which I have to collect. So I did that quickly, bottled them up, wrote the patho forms and gave them to the mama to dispatch.
But I know it's there. There's a shore in the middle of the storm we could rest upon. I don't see it yet, but I know it's there. Although I'm fumbling in the night, it's
Sampling successfully completed. One key highlight was that I had a patient of HIV. So we don't usually say to the patient HIV positive. We say it's a retropositive patient because we don't want anybody else to know, and most of the people don't know what a retrovirus is. So that's what I did, and it's like 12:30 right now. So going back home, it was a nice 1.5 hour posting where only sampling was to be done. And that's what I really like about this posting of SARI/infectious disease ward. And my JR, Dr. Neeraj, is super awesome. He let me go really early. So yeah, that's been it. Let's go home.
We don't see it yet, but we know we need. We don't see it yet.
It's currently 1:45. I just had my lunch and now I'm ready to give the grand test, which I've been talking about since the morning. I'm taking the grand test on over here because I wanted to simulate the real look of the examination like it says. I've also got a blank sheet of paper, so that will help me do some calculations when I need to. Otherwise, I'm going to be putting up the camera. I'm going to be doing the grand test in front of the camera for once. Let's see what happens. I'm kind of excited because this is made from the question banks itself. Yeah, here we go. Start test. I think it shows 2-3 more screens. So this is my name. I have read this many times. Let's do this. Marrow expressly prohibits you from disclosing, publishing, reproducing or transmitting this test by verbal, written, electronic means for any purpose. नहीं करेंगे. 1-2 questions दिखा देंगे, बुरा मत मानना. पूरा नहीं कर रहा हूँ मैं. I am ready to begin. Once the timer is started, it cannot be paused. Got it. If you are a final year MBBS student or an intern, please let me know down below how are your current tests going, what have been your preparation strategy. Just feel free to write down in the comments. I'll definitely read them and try to reply to them. And yes, we shall do this together. So I was posted in the trauma unit recently, and this was exactly the scenario we had. A patient is brought to casualty following a head injury, unconscious, not able to open his eyes. He has no verbal or motor response. So what is his GCS score? So unable to open his eyes to any stimulus is E1, and unconscious is V1 and M1, as it has to be the minimum. No motor responses 3. So yes, this is the question which is derived from a real life instance. I just now also realized that the options were so very easy. It was 0, 1, 2 and 3. So for GCS the minimum score is 3. It cannot go below that. So I could have done that question just based off the options, but yeah, just an example. Alright boys, look at this question. This is, which of the following conditions secondary sexual characters appear to be normal? And here we have androgen insensitivity syndrome, as we all know in that case, which we discussed in the case files. Secondary sexual characters are actually not normal. He was a guy with females characters, so obviously 2 should not be present. Imperforate and transverse will be absolutely normal, so it will be 1, 3, 4 and 5. Yeah. So we are at 190 questions and 99 minutes left. 10 questions are left, but what I've personally felt is that this test was a lot harder than the one which I gave last time. This had questions which I definitely had not seen before. 10 questions are still left, but they were all challenging. I was able to reach to the diagnosis to most of them, and there were only like 2 options which are really confusing. That clearly reflects the lack of preparation that I have currently. Well, of course it's going to be that way because my NEET PG is 9 or 10 months away, so I have to prepare for 9 or 10 months later, not right now. So right now, even if you do one subject, there are going to be 18 subjects which are going to be like okay for you. One will be good. So that is what is happening. For a few subjects I'm able to answer most of the questions. For the others I'm not able to do so. I think that's pretty normal when you start the preparation. If you're a class 11-12 student, imagine it to be this way, that without preparing for like 6 months of class 12th, you are attempting the exam, the full syllabus test. So of course you're not going to be getting the full marks, but you will be getting some marks and you will be learning a lot of new things. So that's what we do in GT reviews. I'm feeling really tired. Abhi 100 minutes baki hai, 98 minutes baki hai. It's 3:40. So let's finish this test. I have left like 10 questions. I've answered 180. Ideally, I will try to get my number of questions done to 195, so that I'm very confident in, ki questions kiye to hai at least. Okay, so I have done all the 200 questions. So So total 7 unanswered, 193 answered. I am expecting that at least 100 questions should be correct, because I mean I'm not sure कि होगे कि नहीं 100 questions correct, but okay, let's just submit it. Submit. GT जरा बहुत exhausting होता है. Okay, view score. So I got what? 110 correct, 83 wrong. So मैं 100 guess कर रहा था. क्या करा? Again, anesthesia is the strongest. Dermat is okay. So this is what happens. I studied dermat just 2 weeks ago, so that caused my dermat score to go up. But at the same time, my pediatrics is falling down. I don't know why. So this is the graph which is very important, which Marrow gives to everybody, and I think that I need to work on a lot of subjects. The worst part is that ENT is very bad. ENT is the weakest. So that means मैंने बहुत सारे गलत कर दिए ENT के questions, and my rank is 6,000 out of 26,000. So okay, ठीक है. महाराष्ट्र में कितना है? महाराष्ट्र में अच्छा है, 417 out of 2.5k. So my main competition is in Maharashtra, because I'll be aiming for Maharashtrian colleges. So okay, 77 मतलब ठीक है, मैंने skip भी किए थे. It's okay, I'm okay, because the percentile remained constant. Just the fact, like I was telling you, I was literally telling you that I felt that this GT was a bit difficult, and that is what is reflecting over here, because last वाला percentile 79 था and उसमें 130 के ऊपर correct थे, इसमें 110 ही correct है, and topper ने भी साथ छोड़े, मतलब topper के भी 190 correct हुए. So okay, I have a lot to work on. That was it, and what we can also do is we can review the answers, which is very, very, very important. So what we can do is we can filter the subject from over here. Let's say मेरे ENT मुझे देखना है. ENT के 7 ही questions थे, and उसमें मैंने 6 गलत किए, which is not good. True idiot. ये नहीं पता था मुझे. So yes, that was kind of how I give the GT usually. I could have taken a lot more time. I could have been a little more patient with the answers, and most importantly, I could have studied before giving the test. I had zero preparation. I just went in like that, and that's what my strategy is going to be. Just जाओ, दे दो test, देखते रहो, review it, learn from it. So yes, but one thing which is good कि I improved dermatology, which was one of my weakest subjects, and I used to score very less in that, and now it's one of the strongest. So I feel pretty good that studying dermatology actually improved it in the GTs. ऐसे ही करके हर एक subject tackle करना है, and then in the end every subject will be good. So yes, luck का भी काफ़ी खेल होता है, but I'm okay. 110 is ठीक है. In the starting part it's good. It's just 27th of May, and this 110 score will be up to 150 in 6 months. चलेगा, होता रहेगा. So I did a Q&A on Instagram, and you guys sent in a lot of questions. So to answer them, I'm here. So the front screen of my iPad has photos of me from Europe, and today's collection displayed Disneyland. The fact is, I have been watching stories of not just a doctor and Rujuta. Both of them are traveling across Europe, so that reminds me of my Europe trip. Anyways, let me just quickly get the glasses, because the light is too intense over here. The glasses help with that. And I did a Q&A on Instagram. I am going to get the questions over here. Are Marrow Notes revisable at the end when only few days would be left for NEET PG? So what I've heard from most of the toppers is that yes, they are revisable for the most part, especially if you have been revising them for 1 or 2 times. The third time will be definitely easier. I have witnessed that myself when I was in final year MBBS. I did my Obs and Gynae from Marrow a lot. So my revision source was Marrow. So I was able to easily complete Obs and Gynae in 1 day using the notes of edition 6. You can go watch the Exam Saga episodes for more info. Bhaii, internship और study कैसे manage कर रहे हो? So it has been difficult. I just talked to you about this before in the vlog. But what my goal is that since I'm getting to the flow of giving the grand test, solving the minute test every Thursday, which are present in the app, plus studying a little bit every day when I'm there in the posting, I think that is the only thing that I can do. What my real plan is with respect to internship is that, let me go into detail. My heavy postings are there till 2nd of August. So my mind was like, I need to survive till 2nd of August. Do the heavy postings till 2nd of August, and then just it's the light posting is going to be easy. But now what I'm thinking is that I'm going to be putting a 4-week extension into medicine. So I get 4 weeks extra. So in short, I get like total 3 months to prepare very hardcore. Like घर पे बैठो, सुबह से शाम तक के या library में बैठो and just study and study. So that has been my plan with respect to internship, and I'll be taking a 4-week extension right now and a 4-week extension right before my NEET PG exam. And I'll be completing that extension once the official date of the internship is over. Sure, it will be extended a bit, but the months that I'll be taking the extension for will never come back. So I need to prepare as fast as I can. My friends who are having a light posting such as rural or something like PSM are getting a lot of time to study, but me personally with medicine and surgery and peds and trauma all back to back, it is very difficult to study. I was very lucky to get the SARI ward. It was just a 25% chance that I would get that ward, and I actually did. So I'm happy that I'll be utilizing this time to shoot a lot of videos and study a lot. Do you always stay consistent? Absolutely not. I have been very inconsistent with my studies for the last 4-5 weeks because of postings, but I at the same time have also enjoyed the postings. So I was consistent with the postings, I would say, not with studies. In the posting in the trauma care unit, I did 3 ICDs in total, which was a very big deal for me. I took numerous sutures on all the different parts of the body, from the back to the abdomen to the hand. There was a degloving injury to so many on the scalp and on the face near the eyes where the orbit was not damaged. In the limbs and all of that. So suturing mein to I think that I'm very confident I will be able to suture anybody, and that was a very fun part of trauma. The only thing which I did not do in trauma was intubation, and I really wanted to do that because it's a very life-saving procedure. Intubation is basically when the patient has a poor GCS less than 8 or 7. What we do is we actually put a tube inside the trachea and then inflate it using our ventilator or ambu bag or whatever, so that the person keeps breathing even if the diaphragm stops. So it's a life-saving procedure, very useful. That's the only thing which I did not learn. And trauma actually motivated me a lot for taking up surgery as my main field in the future. Question is, what are the books to follow for 4th year of MBBS? So final year of MBBS is pretty complicated. Personally, I made a lot of videos for final year. You can go check them out in the last 1 year. I think there have been like 20 videos in which I discussed a lot of things. But in short, for medicine I used Bulur, for surgery I used SRB, for obs and gynae I used Datta plus Marrow Notes, and for pediatrics I used Bhaii. I'll be making a very detailed video on how to study for final year MBBS on my second channel, and you'll find the link for that in the description. Another question, how to complete a big syllabus in Marrow. For example, medicine was very huge, obs surgery and obs gynae, all of these are pretty huge subjects. According to me, a small steps every day is the concept. 5 to 7 lectures a day. Even in 10-15 days you'll be able to cover like 100 modules. So you should not ever stop yourself thinking yaar aaj 2 hi lecture dekh leta hu, bahut mushkil tha, because if you keep on doing that you will never ever finish a subject. And personally, being a person who has completed surgery, medicine, obs gynae and pediatrics and a lot of different subjects from Marrow, I would say that small steps every day is the way to go. Another question is kind of describing my life situation right now. How to balance college and internship, social life, prepare for entrance exam. In my case, a YouTube channel. So all of these things are very difficult to manage together. The thing is, like, one or the other things takes a hit because you only have 24 hours in a day, 8 hours you sleep, so you're left with 16 hours. Out of that 8 hours you go in posting, 8 ghante bache, what you have to do in these 8 hours, it's very difficult to determine. What I'm doing is I'm postponing the video making work to Saturday, because today is Saturday, tomorrow I have to publish a video, so that I'm spending the least amount of time in filming and editing a video for the script I work every day. As far as social life is concerned, yes, internship does take a hit on your social life because all of your friends are posted in different departments. I was really nervous when that happened initially. As you go on an internship, you would definitely meet amazing residents, which I personally have met in the last 6 weeks in different postings. All of them I've connected to them beautifully. They are pretty much your best friends during your internship if you get good residents. So I think that social life wala part will not be much more with your friends rather than it will be with your residents. Speaking from residency, the next question we have is, have you decided on which branch to take in PG? Now, for the first time in my life, I think I have some sort of a clarity as to which branch I want to take. Not which branch, I would say which branches are in my field. I've personally sort of eliminated medicine completely from my branch selection. So I just don't have that much interest for medicine as much as I have for surgical branches. So any surgical branch, be it ENT, be it surgery or orthopedics, something like that. Definitely not obs gynae, because that is again not my cup of tea. Probably after doing my internship, I'll have a lot more clarity on this. I'm really inclined toward ENT or surgery. Both of these I love. The last question that somebody has asked me is, what is your favorite posting and why? My favorite posting in MBBS time was clinical medicine. Abhi maine bola mujhe medicine nahi chahiye future mein, but in MBBS time, in UG times it was. And currently in the internship, it has been surgery ka trauma care center, where we are posted in the emergency. Every night at 2 and 3 we used to have mass casualty which used to come. I used to give CPR. We used to have intubation done. It was so amazing. I wish I could live that life again. So trauma was something which is amazing. So emergency room wali jo duty hai, which includes trauma care center and surgery, was my favorite posting so far, and I don't think any posting is even going to come close to that, except if in surgery they allow me to do some minor surgeries. Out of I think 3,000 responses which I got on my Instagram story, I picked out only 10-15 ones which were very relevant to this video with respect to studies and internship and NEET PG. But we also had so many different questions related to life and money and blah blah blah. If you do want to watch a dedicated Q&A, please let me know down below in the comments. And yes, I think that's it for the video today. I really want to thank you for joining in. I hope to see you again next time. It's your boy Anuj Pachhel. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.